Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. Gardeners, have you heard of the term plogging? It's an exercise activity that benefits both you and the planet in this new year. The word comes from combining two Swedish words that I won't try to pronounce for jog and picking up. The action of plogging is the combination of jogging while picking up litter along the way. The activity originated in Sweden in 2016 and has since spread across the world as an exercise activity in over 100 countries. An estimated 2 million people plog daily, and some plogging events and competitions have attracted over 3 million participants. Of course, this activity doesn't have to be for just jogging. A popular offshoot is of something a lot of us do in Arizona, hiking. And plaking is the same idea, but for hikers who want to help clean up the trail along their way. Because the workout adds bending, squatting, and stretching to the main action of walking, jogging, running, or hiking, you burn more calories while also helping the local nature and community. If you want to try this out, make sure to wear gloves, bring a bag or bucket to collect the litter in, and only pick up what you can safely manage. The nonprofit organization Keep America Beautiful adopted the plogging trend in 2018 and has since been leading plog events across the U.S. But this activity is something you can take up on your own whenever you'd like. So if you have a New Year's resolution to exercise outside, consider taking up this challenge to pump up your routine with a bit of extra bending and squatting and a bit of an extra good deed for the planet. Brian?
Well, you never cease to amaze. What another wonderful story. I mean, this year you're just going to, from story to story, week to week, Xandra. I'm so impressed, and it's such a great idea,
Yeah.
And I like the pliking thing here in the desert because there's, many of us that hike all over, and why not carry a little bag with you? All the extra stretching, especially for somebody as stiff and rigid as I am, who was born with rigor mortis. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
And once again, Xandra, you never cease to amaze.
Every little bit helps.
It really does. And there's so many good things that we can work on together that really don't take a lot of extra time and yet are very healthy for us. So great story once more.
Thank you.
All right, folks. It looks like the lines are full, so we'll get right to them. As one's gone, you can call Xandra at 602-277-5827. Amazing stories to start the year. See what happens when she does her own Christmas show? She just progressively gets better every week.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra here with your happy news. Gardeners, a new bee species has been discovered, and they are unique little divas. Sporting eyeliner and picky eating habits, this new bee was discovered naturally interacting with plants in the wild in both Oklahoma and Texas. And researchers at the University of Oklahoma published a study recently revealing the details about this discovery of this new matte blue-colored bee species. They are a part of the Xandra genus of the species, also known as mining bees, which is the second largest category of bees in the world. But what makes them fun is their personality. For starters, not just their color being blue, but also their dramatic eyeliner called fovea, which appears around their eyes and seems to be a part of signaling attractiveness when mating. And it's uniquely seen on both male and female bees in their species. Their scientific name, androphobia, with andro meaning male in Greek, means that their modern-day slang name is basically eyeliner boy. That they've also been documented picky eaters, as researchers observed them eating only from a couple of different versions of the nightshade flower, and many were also seen only collecting pollen from either one plant species or one plant genus, making them the only picky eaters at their family genus dinner table. But at least they're entertaining while they eat or pollinate because they have also been observed doing handstands on flowers, suckling nectar with their tongue while scraping the flower with its hind legs, and rubbing its hairy belly on flowers, which is definitely unique behavior. Brian, have you ever seen bees dancing through pollination?
I've seen bees pollinating through fun things, but this is an amazing bee, pretty unique. But what's most surprising about it is it comes from Oklahoma and Texas, okay?
Right.
And it's so picky, and it's out having so much fun. Most of my cousins and friends that live in those places aren't blue. You know what they are? They're rednecks.
Yeah.
Cool story. Wonderful bee. I wish it had more of a diverse things that they could pollinate. But
yeah.
What an amazing, find.
The cool thing is that the nightshade flowers that they do pollinate are really hard for any other kind of bee to pollinate. So at least they're helping that part of the flower species.
Well, it's really fun, and it's amazing how diverse nature is and how specialized things are, and how we can make mistakes when we clear things out and do different things that can cause long-term damage to our environment and our ecosystem, and in turn to humanity and to the earth. So, wonderful little critter. I'm glad we know about him now, and you never cease to amaze, Xandra. Glad it wasn't a redneck bee.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. Gardeners, with recent wildfires like the ones happening in LA on our minds, many of us may have been thinking about what we would do if we were in a similar situation and how we can prepare ourselves and our families in case of a house fire. And one important part of our family that we want to protect is our pets. But in case of an emergency, they may run off due to confusion and hide away from their owners and firefighters, which can be a very distressing situation for everyone involved. Sadly, around 40,000 pets die every year in residential house fires, and it's mostly because of the smoke they inhale while they think they are hiding for safety, so cutting down on the amount of time it takes to locate them is crucial. To help find a solution to this problem, a pair of brothers in Arizona, one who is a fire captain with Avondale Fire, Rusty and Ryan Tussing, took up the mission to find a way to better locate these pets in emergency situations. So they developed a device like a pet fire alarm. They call it Rescue Retriever, and it's the first of its kind paw-shaped smoke detector designed to help firefighters find your pet's hiding spot more quickly, even in thick smoke. The idea is that we put the device in our pet's favorite hiding spot for stressful situations, so that corner under the table or furniture where they often hide when they're scared, or stressful things like the vacuum happen. You know your pet best, but once you've put the device there, if and when it senses smoke, it emits a huge, bright strobe light to help guide firefighters to pets' hiding spots in a smoke-filled home. This can help firefighters navigate in a search here first approach, which can help them find your pet more quickly and increase their chance for survival. So far, they've shipped out around 6,000 devices to family homes in the past year, and they're also working on developing a caller version of the device, so finding their hiding spots could always be easier regardless of where they go. Brian, I know I saw a lot of videos of people being reunited with their pets, and it's something really important.
Well, and it's really sad, whenever I had good friends that lost their pets in California in a recent fire. And, it's something we all want to be aware of, and whatever we can do to help our pets, they become our friends and a big part of our family. And, anything that we can do to find them, their hiding places, those poor little guys, they get really confused, especially if we're not around when the fire starts. So
right.
Wonderful ideas.
Yeah.
Hello, gardeners. I'm Xandra, here with your happy news. Gardeners, researchers at the Dalhousie University in Canada have found a way to create a low-cost and eco-friendly solution to two world challenges: water scarcity and old tire disposal. About 4 billion tires sit in landfills and junkyards around the world, and typical tire incineration releases toxic pollutants and contributes to long-term contamination. Water scarcity affects over 2 billion people worldwide, and it can be especially challenging to address in arid regions, low-income areas, and in disaster zones. The researchers addressed both challenges with their own low-cost version of a solar sill that they created by repurposing ground-up old tires that have been especially heated and reformed around foam so that they can float on water, with an added transparent dome on top to create the evaporation effect. A solar sill is a device that can purify water from salts and other impurities by using evaporation and solar energy. During their research, they tried out other carbon waste like coffee grounds and lobster shells, but found that the dark surface of the tires worked best. While the idea for a solar sill is not new, many versions don't make it out of the lab for real field testing. Their version has been rigorously field tested, and it works in real-world situations. They found that it can purify over 3.5 liters of water a day, which is enough to sustain one person. It's still in a testing phase, but it looks very promising as it can float over waves and high tides and works even on cloudy days. And they can modify it to generate a little bit of electricity too, Brian.
You know, you never cease to amaze, do you? I mean, you come in with these stories every week, and I'm sitting here listening to your story. And one of our bigger problems here in agriculture, you know, is we lose water to evaporation, transpiration from the trees, but also evaporation from the soil. And I'm just here dreaming about the fact that perhaps this could work in our orchards to retain the evaporation out of the soil. Xandra, I just can't tell you how wonderful your stories are every week. And just, you know, when they make us think, I mean, what more can you ask for than come in and work with a lovely woman who makes you think every week? Thank you for your story and continuously. You know, that was a phenomenal thing, and it's great to learn. And I'm so encouraged by young people like you that are out doing different things and researching this. And, you know, and especially in our industry here now, you know, when I come in and work with you and Troy, I just can't tell you how special it is to come and work with people in this industry, you know, and broadcast that have the freedom to express their opinions and the thoughtfulness, mindfulness to come up with these stories. Thank you.
Well, thank you for always listening.
Well, and with that, we'll get back to plant questions. But folks, you know, it's just amazing what wonderful people we have in this world. And it's really encouraging to see young people like Xandra come in here and move up. And now Xandra and I have worked together for 5 or 6 years. And seeing the difference, and, you know, seeing the reporting and the skills that you've developed and the mindful thought processes really are encouraging for us older people. Anyway, beautiful morning, Xandra. Thanks for the story, and we'll get back to the phones and put Xandra to work, folks. I mean, her story's done now, so now you can just give her a call at 602-277-5827, 277-KTAR,